Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. How you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? You feeling better than you did yesterday? Excellent. You can't ask for better than that. Hey, I want to remind you, An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. Famousapple.com is the home site for this podcast, so if you get a minute, go over there, check it out. While you're flipping around the web, make sure you stop by famousapple.com/group. That's our Facebook page, and it's titled Living with a Disability. A lot of nice people over there, a lot of chatting going on, a lot of fun, people asking questions, answering questions, making friends, you name it, it's going on over there. Plus, I'm over there quite a bit myself. So if you get a minute, go over there, check that out. Hey, we have got a good one for you today. We're visiting with someone we spoke to a year ago. His name is Jim Gaven. He's the founder and CEO of Music in the Key of Awesome. What he does is he teaches and works with people with developmental disabilities. He teaches them music. Yes, and he does it in person and he does it virtually. We spoke with him last year and he was trying to get the business going and he was suffering setbacks because of the quarantine and the pandemic. He's still working with the pandemic. The quarantine is lifted somewhat, but he's still working virtually also with his students. But he was originally just in New Jersey. He is spread out across the nation in a year. And he's also done work in Israel, believe it or not. This guy has blossomed in a year like you wouldn't believe. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And he used to be a one-man show, and now he has employees. It's unbelievable. His story is unbelievable. But it just goes to show what happens when you really stick to it and you put your mind to something and you work at it. And you don't just sit back and wait for people to come to you. You go out and you actually work the job. You go out and you look for people. You look for clients. You look for customers. And he's not 100% money hungry. He's looking to help people, and along with helping people comes the money. But you have to hear this man's story, and you have to hear his attitude. Plus, you have to hear his music. I'm going to put on a card here that explains about him, and you'll be surprised, but you'll be pleasantly surprised to hear my interview with Jim. This guy there's no other way to describe him other than to say he is genuinely a nice guy. He's a hard-working family man. He's a hard-working, nice guy. That's the only way I can describe him. But I want you to sit back for a couple of minutes here, and I just want to give you a little insight about him and his company. So sit back for a minute and just listen to these cards that I have about him and his company.
Musician on a mission. Founder and CEO of Key of Awesome Music, Jim Gaven has written and released over 24 albums of music, solo project, and in the bands Post Mark Twain, Age of Wisdom, and Mouth of Wilson. His solo project's music is reminiscent of the artists John Mayer, Third Eye Blind, and the Goo Goo Dolls. A registered composer and publisher with the Performing Rights Organization, BMI. His music can be heard in 6 of the 7 continents across the world in TV shows and commercials, as well as background and in-store radio retail channels, and in-flight entertainment systems. In addition to this, he is a published author, blogger, writer of children's songs for lifelong teaching tools, and humanitarian whose mission is to make a positive difference in the world by improving the quality of life, especially through music. Jim's work with developmentally disabled adults is creating a meaningful, non-judgmental way for people to express themselves, create something out of nothing, and build confidence, all the while learning basic, intermediate, and, on some occasions, expert-level concepts on guitar, piano, bass, ukulele, percussion, and voice. With over a decade's worth of experience under his belt working with those who have developmental disabilities and beyond, he is honored, humbled, grateful, and blessed to be able to use his gift of music for the greater good.
And that doesn't even scratch the surface about Jim Gavin. Now, here's just a little bit about his company.
What is Key of Awesome Music? Established in April 2018 as an LLC, Key of Awesome Music is a qualified provider in the state of New Jersey. What started as a side venture quickly turned into a full-time endeavor of making a difference through music. Currently, we support over 300 individuals and organizations in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, Arizona, Illinois, Connecticut, and Georgia. These programs include Developmental Disability Day and aftercare programs, drug and alcohol counseling, treatment and recovery centers, nursing homes and assisted living facilities for those with Alzheimer's and dementia, rehabilitation and post-acute care facilities, soup kitchens, at-risk youth centers, children's hospitals, safe houses for domestic abuse victims, and children's library programs. You can learn more about this incredible program at keyofawesomemusic.com.
Now, before we go on, I want to let you know at the end of this podcast, we're going to be playing one of Jim's original songs, so you want to stick around to the end. So, no more hesitating. I want to introduce you to the man, his music, and his business, Mr. Jim Gavin. So sit back, relax, remember to stay to the end of the podcast to hear his original music. So, here we go. Let's get started here. All right, I'm here with my friend Jim Gavin. Now, some of you may remember Jim was on with us last year, but things have changed. This man is a ball of fire, and he's going forward. He's not looking back. How are you today, Jim?
I'm doing well, Jim. How are you?
Good, good. So, you've got a book in the works, an audio book, and an album coming out.
Yeah.
When do you sleep? When do you sleep? Plus the business. The business is like growing leaps and bounds.
Yeah, well, I sleep whenever I fall asleep on the couch. I've actually been better at getting better night's sleep, just trying to purposely put myself to sleep earlier. But yeah, there's been a lot going on. I've just been really inspired. That's probably the easiest way to say it. Just by things around me, really taking in a lot of nature over the last several months and carving out that time for myself to spend time in nature. And for me, I almost see it as like a bath for my soul, if you will. And I have some of my best ideas, I feel like, for business, for songwriting, and other things, just far as writing goes, when I'm out on a walk or when I'm going hiking, or I bought myself a small blow-up kayak and I'll go out on the water at a place close to where we live. So yeah, that's really been kind of the inspiration for me, is just being out in nature and just appreciating the things that I do have and the people that I have in my life. And yeah, the book is actually finished now, which is amazing.
What is the name?
It's called The Daily Bridge.
Okay.
So what this book is, it's now a 3-part series. So I've actually done 2 other ones with the same idea. And the first one's called The Daily Verse, then it's called The Daily Chorus, and this one's called The Daily Bridge. And if you are a music fan, you know that there's a verse, there's usually 2 verses in a song, a couple choruses, maybe a bridge in a song. It's like a song structure. And the idea is I'm taking a musical quote that I find. There's lots of them out there from famous musicians and just people that I happen to stumble across in the internet. And I'll take that quote and I provide sort of like my 2 cents commentary on it and see how we can apply it to real life and how it can be applied to every day. And so the idea is to read 1 page a day for an entire year, or you can read it all at once. And for me, it's been kind of a neat way to collect and quotes, musical quotes. I've always been one for looking up musical quotes, even before I had this idea to do this sort of book series. And so, yeah, like the quotes, obviously they're not mine. They're I give everybody else the credit, right? It'll be like some sort of musical quote, and then whoever said it, and document the sources at the end. And it's been a lot of fun putting together. And these are all self-published using the platform Lulu, which is a neat self-publishing platform. And it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. It's kind of my way to start the day. I will look up a quote, try to, see if I can relate it to something happening in real life, or that maybe we can apply to real life, and then write it down. And before you know it, you get 365 of them. And I do more than one a day. So some days I'll do two. Some days I'll do four, depending on how inspired I am in that day and how much time I have. So yeah, usually within somewhere between 6 to 9 months over the last few years, I've been able to assemble these 3 books. That's kind of the long and short of it for the books.
When you say a musical quote, are you taking a line from a song, or?
That has happened maybe a handful of times out of all the quotes that I've done.
Where are the quotes coming from then?
I find them on various websites. There's a site called brainyquote.com. There's other ones that I've used for musical quotes. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but Brainy Quote, it's like BRANY quote.com. And sometimes I'll just type in musical quotes into Google and go through lists of them, and and try to see who said it. And there's one here: music is life itself. I just typed one into Google right now, and that was said by Louis Armstrong.
Oh, okay. So, I got what you're saying.
And so it'll say music and rhythm find their way into the secret places of the soul. Plato said that. So it's really interesting, and trying to find a way to relate it to maybe everyday life and not have it just be about music. And sometimes it does have to relate to music, and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes it does both, where it relates to music and to everyday life. So it's been a fun like thing to piece together. It helps me use my creative brain first thing in the morning. That's one of the first things I do when I wake up.
Now, do you still do the morning Facebook Live?
I do. It's not every morning. I do it usually Tuesday and then Thursday through Sunday. Mondays and Wednesdays, I've been pre-recording videos and posting them on the Facebook page for people to watch at their leisure if they want. I found those Mondays and Wednesdays are my days where I'm running around in person, and I just don't have the time in the morning to sit down even for 5 to 10 minutes and do a Facebook Live. It's just... I'm in charge of getting my son to school, so that's priority. I take him to school. I take him to school every morning. So yeah, at the sake of giving myself an extra 5 to 10 minutes and not feeling rushed, those days I don't. Yeah, most of the week I still am doing Facebook Live on the page.
Yeah, for a while there, I was catching that when you were doing it every day. I was catching that. I thought that was pretty cool, actually, because it was like meditation in the morning.
Yes.
That's the way I looked at it. It was like meditation. And I'd turn on my computer in the morning and get ready to start doing what I do here. And I just watched that. And what was it, like 5-10 minutes?
It's short.
There's
some days it might not even be 5 minutes. It's usually between 5 and 10 minutes. I started doing these Facebook Live things when everything kind of got shut down because of COVID-19 at the start of the pandemic and the height of the pandemic. And I was doing sessions for a lot longer than that because I just wanted to stay on people's radar and just put something good out there in the world. But they were running 30 to 40 minutes. And then I just was like, this is too much how many people are really going to sit there and watch 30 minutes of something,
Now, I was a fan. I used to sit there because what happened was I turned it on in the morning. My wife would leave for work, and the dogs were out and everything like that. And I'd sit here and I'm getting ready to start taking notes and do the notes that I had to do for the show. And I'd click over to yours and I'd sit there and listen and listen and listen. I'd say, all right, I'm going to listen for 5 more minutes. And next thing I know, I'm listening to the whole thing and you're saying, oh, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so you had one fan here.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
I did that with someone else, Rosa Montero, Coach Rosa. She's another one that got me hooked on those Facebook Lives. But yeah, But sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it was a neat thing to start doing. Once I start something, I kind of get really into it very quickly, and I like to continue things and not just have them kind of just start it and be like a fad that I do for a couple months.
Right.
I turn it into like my daily routine sort of thing. And then it was fun for a while too, because my son was home. The schools were it was kind of like a hybrid model, and then it was like, okay, we have to be home now because there's cases. And so my son would join in, and that was like a whole lot of fun because
Sure.
at the time he was 5, he would run in with some crazy costume on, and it ended up being a fun like bonding time, like with me and him just being silly together.
Sure, family affair.
So, yeah.
The family business.
Yep.
Now, the book, the verses and the bridges and stuff. Now, is that the audio book also?
Yeah, I recorded the audiobook myself, so I've just kind of narrated page by page, and I put it up on Bandcamp, which is a nice platform that I can just put it up immediately, and it goes live immediately. You don't have to wait like you would if you were to submit something maybe to iTunes or Spotify or something along those lines. Usually there's like a waiting period till anybody can check it out. So yeah, I did that. And I've done that with all 3 of the books, the daily verse, the daily chorus, and now the daily bridge.
Now, is the written version of the book, is that available anywhere?
Yeah, it's on lulu.com.
Okay.
And it's spelled LULU. There's particular like links. It's a very long hyperlink for each one. But if you were to go to I have a page, like an artist page, if you will, on Lulu, and I think it's lulu.com like /spotlight/Jim Gavin, and my name is spelled JIMGAVEN for anybody listening.
Well, if you send me an email with the hyperlink,
yeah,
what I'll do is I'm going to attach Famous Apple to that, and I'll give you a shortened link that you can use Famous Apple / whatever you want to put on that for a shortened link that people can go directly to your book.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
We'll shorten it down to 1 or 2 words.
That'd be great.
And all that information will be in the show notes for this podcast. But I'll give you that link, and you can do whatever you want with that. And
that is super cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I do that this way here because I know if you start handing out hyperlinks and people are like, well, it's Jim Gavin /17698. You're
yeah.
like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. No, we'll break it down to 1 or 2 words, and we'll get it out there. We'll put that out there, and we'll put the link on this podcast as well,
cool.
And we'll get it out there for you. Is it available on Amazon or anything like that?
I believe there's a couple children's, like, fun little children's book things I've done in the past. That I did kind of for my son to learn basic stuff like using the alphabet. I think some of those might be on Amazon, but with Lulu, I decided most, I think all 3 of them are just on Lulu that you can only get from that website.
Oh, cool.
It ends up being a little bit easier to manage that way.
I got you.
But yeah, I at some point, maybe I will distribute on Amazon. But right now it specifically has to be on that platform. I like it. It's very easy. It's a very user-friendly website to use, which is why I like it. I've tested some other ones and along the way, and I really like how easy it is to use and to put everything together on there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean you've been busy since the last time we spoke. Last time we spoke, you were trudging along. How's the students?
It's been amazing. It's for the first time in my life. We had spoken about this a little bit earlier. I'm not always the one who is now reaching out to places or individuals for trying to get people interested in doing, music lessons, whether it's on guitar, piano, bass, ukulele, voice, drums, what have you, or doing group sessions. The group sessions I lead with those who have developmental disabilities, drug and alcohol addiction. There's been some interesting word of mouth and referrals happening, and it's been really cool. I'm fielding probably at least once, if not 2, 3 times a week on certain weeks, new interested individuals or support coordinators who heard about what I do, what we do, because it's not just me anymore. I have 3 part-time, like, subcontracted musicians who kind of do what I do, and I've done some interesting training things with them so that they're comfortable. Some of them, 2 of the employees haven't really worked much in this realm of those with developmental disabilities, but they're just great people and they want to make a difference. And that's really what I care about is, are you a good person? Are you going to treat people kind? And are you going to do good work at the same time? And so it's been really remarkable. I can't believe, it's almost hard to believe sometimes, the stuff that's been coming in, new contacts, doing a lot of things virtually still. And a lot of these new sessions I'm talking about are almost 100% of them are virtual. It's just the way that it's been working out, and it's been working out nicely that way.
Well, believe it, because you're a nice guy, and it's nice when nice things happen to nice people. And
I would agree. It's nice when nice things happen to nice people.
I'm telling you.
But I mean, I've been at this musician thing, let's call it, right, for like 20 years.
Musician thing.
Yeah, and it's because deep down, right, I'm a musician, but it's been 20 years of me networking at different open mic nights and getting gigs and calling venues and emailing people and constantly following up with them and telling them, hey, I'm out here. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, but that's what you have to do. Nothing, too many people think it's just going to fall into your lap. And that's that's why they disappear.
I get that totally. I because I feel like there's a sense sometimes where people think, well, I have a great song, everybody should just know about it because I created this great song.
Right.
Or everybody should know about this business because this is a great business idea. Well, you have to get in front of people and talk to them about it and pitch it and try your best to provide value. Like, to me, you have to provide meaning, purpose, and value.
Exactly.
All kind of art. And if you can do that, then you start getting in some cool individuals and groups and clients, whatever you want to, the terminology, whatever industry that you're in. And then, like, word of mouth starts happening between these different companies. It's during the height of the pandemic last year. I was doing sessions for people like all over the country, Jim. It was wild because everybody finally got on board with, okay, we got to do virtual sessions. We're not just going to let our individuals sit at home and do nothing. And so I was doing sessions for people in New Jersey. That's where we're based. It was New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Illinois, Arizona, and Florida. I was doing sessions and it was crazy because I had never gone out of New Jersey and Eastern Pennsylvania. And then I'm getting like this programmer reached out to me from Florida. I was like, what in the, let's do a session. It was amazing. And,
cool.
And I keep in touch with them, the ones that are further away on occasion and trying to see, well, maybe the winter comes and things go back to being more virtual again because of cold and flu season or what have you. And it just, it's been really cool establishing these new relationships. And a lot of it was born out of the need of people wanting something good for those they serve and support and their children during the height of the pandemic.
Sure. And believe me, we're not out of the pandemic.
No way.
The Delta variant now and the Wu variant, and I have yet, in all honesty, because of my problems, I have yet to go anywhere. The extent of my traveling is to doctors. I don't go anywhere. I'm here. We've set up a studio in the house, and this is where I am. If we have to go to the store, my wife goes into the store. I sit in the car. Other than that, this is it. And a lot of other disabled people are in the same boat that I am. So I only see your business growing much bigger. And I remember last year when we spoke, you were the business. Now you got 3 employees. You're nationwide. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was something. I was getting connected with people all over the place. I think some of it had to do with the newsletter that I put out once a month. The newsletter was getting shared,
Sure.
like all over the place. I ended up doing this. It was like a video interview sort of testimonial for this web accessibility company. They're based in Israel, and yeah, it was nuts. They were based in Israel, and I got connected with them through a certain chain of events of like email, this person passing it along. And I ended up getting on this like marketing video that this company, they're called Accessiby. They want to make web accessibility available for everybody, and was focusing a lot on those with developmental disabilities, those who are blind, to be able to like use computers and whatnot. And this video, I'm only saying this because it was the most viral video that I've ever been a part of. This video, I'm not exaggerating this, you can look it up. Over 2 weeks span, it garnered over 2 million views in 2 weeks.
All right.
It was crazy. And I wasn't the only one on the video. There was a whole bunch of other people in this space. But it was really neat to be involved in this and help out this company, and just things like that. Almost seemingly random things would pop up like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was something. And
excellent.
And yeah, it was.
You're not just national; you're international now.
With that video that I was a part of, yeah, that's something. It was. I was not expecting for that to happen.
That's excellent.
But yeah, it's been a wild ride in the best of ways. Like there's some days I wake up and I'm like, okay, what's today gonna be?
Yeah,
and what's my schedule gonna be like? Am I gonna get an email or a phone call from someone who wants a new session for their individual, or am I gonna have to do something different that I've never done before? And usually the answer to that, not every day, but a couple of days a week, is yes. I'm dealing with a new scenario, a new company, a new individual or support coordinator. It's been like this for the last couple months. So it's been interesting, and I call it like a little adventure.
It's amazing. And now, on top of all of this, you're putting out an album.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I need whatever you take, whatever medication you take, whatever you're drinking, I want some.
I'll tell you right now, I don't take any medication, actually.
Well, then send me a bottle of the water from Jersey, because I need it.
I definitely do drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of tea as well. Yeah, I mean, this album, again, just things I've been around inspiring me, things with nature. I've been really getting more into my faith, and this album is kind of a reflection of kind of going deep in your mind, going deep in your soul. A lot of these songs were written in last summer, last fall, and last winter, when we were all just, what is going on with this pandemic,
right,
and what is happening in the world. So yeah, I chipped away. I had I think I had over 20 songs that I wrote that I thought could be on this album, called Favor Savior is what I called it. 10 ended up making the cut, and I just spent whatever time I could chipping away at recording it, 30 minutes here and there. Some days I'd have a couple hours where I could dedicate to it, and it was pieced together. And again, another one of those things where I put it on Bandcamp, the site Bandcamp. It's just jimgavin.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
And you could get my entire catalog on there, which is neat. Like every single song that I've released, whether it's been in a solo project or in a band, can be found on that website.
Excellent.
Which is really cool. But yeah, that was, yes. The long story is that yes, I have a new album.
So that's already released then?
Yes, I released that. At the beginning of September. I think it was September 4th or September 6th. No. And it just went live on Spotify like a couple days ago.
Now, is that available for purchase?
Yeah, you could stream it on there, and you could purchase it on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
Yeah.
again, all this information is going to be in the show notes.
Yep.
And what we'll do is we'll work another link out for Bandcamp for you.
Cool. Thank you.
This way, it's a direct link to your catalog.
Yeah.
So there's no
Yeah.
searching around Bandcamp to find you. We'll go directly to your catalog.
Go right there. Yep.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was released yet. I thought it wasn't being released until January.
Oh no, yeah. This I was hoping. So like I'm very conservative with like deadlines on things like this for myself.
Right.
Where I'm like, okay, I want to have it out by the end of the year. That's what I tell myself.
Right. That's what you told me.
And right. And it came out quicker because I was able to record at a quicker rate and edit at a quicker rate than I anticipated.
Now, are you you do all the vocals? I know that. Now, do you play all the instruments on it as well?
I do, yes.
You are a talented man.
Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. It's a gift that I feel like I've been given to use music in as many ways as I use music to help people, to write, to record, to know how to play instruments, sort of intrinsically. Like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like it's a gift that I've been given from God. Like I believe that. For many years I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, I'm just really good at this, but as I got into this field of working with those who have developmental disabilities, it became very apparent to me that it's one of the gifts that I've been given in this life, is to just pick up an instrument and kind of know what to do with it.
And now you know why you were given that gift, and you know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Some people look a gift horse in the mouth. You've taken that gift and you're building with it. It's unbelievable. And I was impressed when I first met you with what you were doing. I'm even more impressed now. And I'm being honest. I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. I'm even more impressed with the way you've grown, the way you've taken this business. You took a little flower, honestly. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I have no reason to. But you've taken a little sprout and you've grown it, and you've got a whole tree that you've grown out of this, with 3 new branches on it with your employees, and it's amazing to me. I love hearing stories like this. All too often,
I love being a part of a story like this.
Yes, I imagine so. Because all too often you hear people that they grow and then all of a sudden they get too big for themselves and they're like, and they just let it go. You're still growing it. You're still watering this tree.
I feel like I want to continue to grow this because I've seen the impact that it's had on people's lives. I've seen the impact that it has on my life.
Exactly.
And like, I don't know why I would do anything else. Like, with most of my time when I'm awake is doing, using music in this way. There's a quote from the movie Prefontaine. That movie with like, I think Jared Leto plays Steve Prefontaine, the runner who unfortunately dies way too soon.
Right.
There's a quote that he says in that movie that I go back to all the time. And the quote is something to the effect of something about sacrificing the gift that we have. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift.
That's right.
That's what he said. And I try to do that every day, is to try to, whatever doing my best means to me, I put as much as I can into it, a lot of energy, a lot of time, but I live by that kind of mentality. It's like, whether it's relationships, personal relationships with my wife, my son, family, friends, like everybody knows that they can call me or email me or text me and I'll get back to them as long as I'm awake. and I don't know, like, that's just how I wasn't always like this though. When I was like maybe in high school and in college years, I wasn't so serious on maintaining relationships in the way that I do now. No. I was just more immature. I just didn't see it. It's like, whatever, those guys will always be there. Well, that's not always the case. Life is short. in the grand scheme of things, and I want to be there for people in as many ways as I can. So I kind of live by that quote: to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift.
That's right. That's right. And one other thing, you love what you're doing.
Oh, I do. Yeah, it's so much fun
And
to me. It's
when you love what you're doing, you're not working.
there are many days. You're right. There are many days I don't feel like that. There's some days I do where I have to reach out to a company that hasn't paid me in 4 months, and that's not always the most fun. But generally, yes. Like every day is, like I said, a little bit of an adventure, a lot of fun, and I can really try to do some different creative things with music that I probably would not be doing otherwise if I wasn't in this field. Like, how am I going to teach guitar to somebody who doesn't know how to read? So
Right.
they don't know how to read music. And we got into that a little bit last time. And that I would have never thought of that, how I do that, if I didn't go into this field.
But there's the gift.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the gift. Well, Jim, this has been great catching up. This has really been great catching up. And likewise, I just want to put the name of your company out there again. It's Key of Awesome Music. And Jim Gavin, this guy is a superstar.
Oh, he's so nice.
He is. He's a superstar. And I'm going to have all his information in the show notes. And anyone that's interested in, well, you're going to hear his bio. I'm going to have his bio in the preamble to this podcast. You want to contact Jim? All his information is going to be there. Also, now I spoke to Jim previous to the interview today, and I'm going to play some of his music on here so you can get to know him and know what he's all about. Know what his music is so cool. And for you young guys, music you can play with your girlfriends. It's nice music, soft music.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I'm helping you out here.
No, that's good. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
a lot of the songs I write are like love songs or songs that I try to turn negative situations into positives, like a positive spin on it. So yeah, and it's usually not, heavy rock. It's usually, like you were saying, very kind of nice and sweet and acoustic based, and yeah.
Hey, cuddling music.
There you go.
Music you can listen to in the car as you watch the moon. It's great music, though. This guy's an artist. That's the only thing I can say about him. He's an artist, and he's got a voice. You're gonna have to hear it for yourself. So stay tuned. Listen to his music. You're gonna be amazed. Buy his album or his CD, whatever you want to call it. Stream his music. You're gonna love it. All right. So, Jim, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And we're not going to wait so long to have you back on because I got a feeling next week you'll probably be hiring 3 more people. You'll be putting out another book, probably 2 more albums.
No.
Maybe doing a TV show for all I know.
I would love to come back as often as you'd like to have me. It's always nice to catch up, man.
Let's see. We'll book you for next week, the same time. Definitely, though, I really want you to come back on and I want to keep in touch because you're doing amazing things, and the people that you work with are near and dear to my heart. The developmentally disabled. It's very, how do you explain it? They're just very near and dear to my heart. My wife works with this community. She's a nurse. She works in that community as well, and I see them and I see when they're thriving, and what you're doing is so important because people seem to forget the developmentally disabled. They give them the bare minimum. I always say the most neglected minority in this country are the disabled, and you're bringing brightness into their life with music.
I'm certainly trying, and I would have to agree with you that this population of those who are developmentally disabled, they do seem to get the short end of the stick.
All the time. All right, Jim. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you again real soon.
Sounds good, Jim. Thanks you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So was I right about Jim Gavin? He is phenomenal. The guy, I don't know how else to explain it. He's just a nice guy who is working his butt off, and he's helping people in the process. Well, make sure you check out his links in the show notes here. Definitely check out his links. He's amazing. And don't forget to stick around to the end of this for one of his original songs. His music is beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. I got something special for you here today. You know, I don't know if any of you know this, but I am an associate with Amazon. And how many of you ever wanted to play a musical instrument? I know I played guitar as a young man. I still have my first guitar. Well, I don't play it anymore because of my hands, but I still have my first guitar. So I want you to check this out. I found this for you, and you might find this interesting. Check this out real quick.
Hey, this full-size classical nylon strings acoustic guitar 39-inch classic guitar starter bundle for adults comes with free lessons, a gig bag, an e-tuner, a footstool, and more. This bundle is all-in-one with beginner-free lessons. This 39-inch right-handed classical guitar starter kit comes with novice essential accessories at an affordable price. 1 waterproof guitar bag, 1 digital tuner, 1 strap, 1 footstool, 1 stand, 1 capo, polished cloth and 1 month's free starter lessons card. Everything you need to start playing immediately comes in one box. Save your time and money. Go to famousapple.com/guitar and check out this beautiful musical instrument that you cannot afford to pass up.
This is a beautiful guitar, and this starter package is amazing for all the equipment that you get with it, and you'll be blown away by the price. Believe me when I tell you, you'll be blown away by the price. So go to famousapple.com/guitar and check it out. It's not going to hurt you to look at it, and when you see the price, you're gonna be like, I want it. And if you have Prime, you can get it in a couple of days. And it all comes in one big box. You can open it up, and with the free lessons, you can start playing in a couple of minutes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So check it out. It's famousapple.com/guitar. Anyhow, I want to thank Jim Gavin for being with us today. He is, like I said, an amazing person, and I want to thank you, the listeners, for being here today. And check out Jim's work. Check out his website, and check out his music. His music is absolutely beautiful. You'll be sorry if you don't check it out. But I want to remind you of one thing. No matter what, things can always be worse, my friends. That's right. Right now, there's somebody somewhere wishing that they were in your position. So no matter what, things can always be worse. You've been listening to An Apple a Day. My name is Jimmy Apple. And let me tell you something. Coming up over the next couple of weeks, we have a lot of interesting guests coming up. In our next episode, you're going to meet Derek Cook, a man that was born with spina bifida. And he has not let this stop him. You're going to be amazed at Derek. Derek is a cool guy. Let me tell you, ladies, he's 31 years old, he's single, and he's a business owner. That's right. So you're going to want to meet Derek. You're going to want to hear his story. And if he doesn't impress you, I don't know who will. But we have Derek coming up in just a couple of days. And we have a whole boatload of more people. So watch out for the Slice the Apple coming up. We're going to be telling you who's coming up on the podcast. We have everything this month. We have Derek, the businessman. We have a human resource professional that's coming up. She's also an activist for disabled people. We have, and now I'm just going to touch on this very lightly. We have professionals that are going to be discussing sexual education. I'm stuttering. Sex education. Now, take from that what you will, but you're going to want to hear about this and so much more. So we have a lot going on for you. We have a chock full month of October with interviews and people, a lot of laughs, a lot of serious things going on. You don't want to miss any of it. So watch the website, and watch the podcast, because we'll have a lot of apple slices coming out telling you what's going on. So thanks again for being here today, and I will talk to you real soon. Now, we're going to be closing the podcast out today with the original music from Jim Gavin. The name of this song is Make This Moment Last. Enjoy.
Kind of guy that keeps you warm at night when you are cold. I'll grab some blankets from my bed, wrap them around your chest, and I'll pull you close. We'll flip some channels to find out there's nothing on right now to ease your mind. Sit back, relax, there is no rush, no need to speed things up. All we have is time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. So let's make this the kind of love that we've been dreaming of when we sleep at night. We'll get a little house to live in, have a couple kids, and we'll sleep tight. Cause baby, all we really need are just a couple things to stay alive, and everything else in between. Just trust my heart, you'll see we're slowly coming. Time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes as spring goes, forever you will know that I love you. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes as spring goes, forever you will know that I love you.